In every baseball game, they say there's always something new to witness. With 162 games per year from each MLB team, it's no wonder that there's an abundance of unforgettable moments, from astonishing comebacks to epic collapses. However, among these incredible occurrences, there are also some truly bizarre, wacky, and wild moments that stand out. In this countdown, we'll explore the top 10 most insane moments in MLB history, those rare, one-in-a-million instances that are unlikely ever to be replicated. So, without delay, let's dive into the list. 10. JT Snow's heroic rescue, saving the day. During the decisive Game 5 of the 2002 World Series, featuring the San Francisco Giants against the Anaheim Angels, Kenny Lofton blasted an extra base hit into right field. At that moment, the Giants' 3-year-old bat boy, Darren Baker, who happened to be the son of manager Dusty Baker, eagerly rushed to retrieve Lofton's bat, his favorite player. However, danger loomed as JT Snow crossed home plate, noticing young Darren in harm's way with another player approaching and the catcher poised to make a throw. In an instant, JT sprang into action, swiftly rescuing Darren from potential peril, earning him immense praise for his selflessness. Despite JT's remarkable career and postseason achievements, his heroics that day remain a cherished memory. Darren Baker continued his love for the sport, playing college ball at Cal and later getting drafted by the Washington Nationals, where he impressed with a .290 batting average in Double-A during 2022. 9. A fight with the Bugs. During the 2007 ALDS playoffs in Cleveland, Ohio, an October evening turned unusually warm as the Yankees clung to a slim 1-0 lead in the 7th inning. Joba Chamberlain, the dominant setup man with a remarkable 0.38 ERA and 12.8 per 9 strikeouts ratio that season, took the mound to pave the way for Mariano Rivera. Chamberlain effortlessly handled the 7th inning, leaving the Indians feeling defeated. However, everything changed in the 8th inning when an unexpected obstacle struck. An army of midges, mosquito-like flies, descended upon the field, attracted by the weather and stadium lights. Chamberlain, besieged by the Bugs, struggled to maintain his composure, resulting in a walk and 2 wild pitches that led to the tying run. The Bugs made it virtually impossible for him to concentrate, leaving him visibly shaken and frustrated throughout his appearance. To the surprise of many, when the Indians came up to bat in the bottom of the 8th, the Bugs had mysteriously vanished, giving them an advantage. Seizing the opportunity, the Indians capitalized on this twist of fate, securing a victory in the game and ultimately winning the series. 8. The epic encounter. Randy Johnson vs. the Bird. In an astounding 1-in-a-billion moment that defies belief, a remarkable incident occurred during spring training, albeit often overlooked due to its preseason nature. The renowned pitcher and current Hall of Famer, Randy Johnson, was on the mound, facing off against Giants prospect Calvin Murray. In an unforeseen turn of events, a bird suddenly flew directly into the path of Johnson's blazing 95-mile-per-hour fastball, leading to a tragic end as feathers exploded into the air. In all my years of watching baseball, I had never witnessed a bird daring to fly between the pitcher and the batter. The sheer odds of the baseball and the bird coinciding in the same place and time appear to be beyond astronomical. The fact that Randy Johnson, a true master of the game, threw the pitch only adds to the sheer unbelievability of the incident. If this improbable scenario played out in a movie, I would have dismissed it as overly unrealistic, claiming that such an event could never occur. Yet, the incredible truth remains, I still can't fathom that it genuinely happened. 7. The remarkable 3 feet 7 inches pinch hitter. In 1951, Bill Veeck, former owner of the Cleveland Indians, acquired the St. Louis Browns, aiming to rival the more popular St. Louis Cardinals through innovative publicity stunts. Among his most famous decisions was signing Eddie Gadel, a 3 feet 7 inches and 60 pounds professional performer found through a booking agency. Gadel was issued a uniform with the number 1 out of 8 and emerged from a papier-mâché cake during a doubleheader to celebrate the American League's 50th anniversary. Initially perceived as a mild stunt, Gadel's role took an unexpected turn in the second game. Sent in as a pinch hitter in the bottom of the first inning, the little man surprised everyone by actually playing. Even the Browns players were taken aback, with pitcher Bob Kane finding the situation laughable. Gadel's height forced the catcher to kneel, and he impressively walked on 4 pitches while graciously bowing to the crowd, creating one of MLB's wildest scenes. The AL president voided Gattel's contract the next day, as Veek's antics were deemed a mockery of the game. 6. Zimmer's fateful fall. The ALCS brawl. During the 2003 ALCS clash between the Yankees and Red Sox, an unforgettable and tumultuous scene unfolded in Boston. Amidst the typical tensions and on-field altercations, this particular incident took an absurd turn. The spark ignited when a pitch from Pedro Martinez struck Karim Garcia in the fourth inning, fueling the tension. Shortly after, Garcia's hard slide into second base led to a shoving match and cleared dugouts. The situation escalated when Roger Clemens threw an inside pitch to Manny Ramirez, setting off a chain reaction. In an astonishing moment, 72-year-old Yankee coach Don Zimmer, momentarily forgetting his age, confronted Pedro Martinez head-on. The pitcher evaded Zimmer's charge, but the coach's intent was clear. As the madness continued, Yankee pitcher Jeff Nelson engaged in a brawl with a Fenway Park employee in the bullpen, with Karim Garcia surprisingly stepping in to support his teammate. This bizarre and chaotic spectacle left fans and players alike stunned by the events that unfolded during that heated playoff match. 5. Psycho. During the intense 2000 World Series, dubbed the Subway Series, between the New York Mets and New York Yankees, tensions ran high, particularly between Roger Clemens and Mike Piazza. The rarity of such an incident involving a bat and pitcher only adds to the astonishment. The timing and circumstances surrounding this extraordinary event during the World Series continue to baffle and amaze spectators to this day. 4. Double trouble. Two batters at one time. In a remarkable game between the Cardinals and Cubs on September 22, 1974, a bizarre incident unfolded during the ninth inning. With the score tied 5-5, the mad Hungarian Al Hrabosky was on the mound, known for his unique ritual of turning his back to home plate, making batters wait. On this day, the Cubs' Gary Madlock decided to challenge Hrabosky's routine by stepping away from the batter's box to apply pine tar to his bat. Umpire Shag Crawford ordered Madlock to return, but he didn't comply, prompting Crawford to call strikes with no one in the box. A heated argument ensued between Cubs manager Jim Marshall and on-deck hitter Jose Cardenal. In a surreal twist, both Cardenal and Madlock ended up in the batter's box simultaneously, resulting in an unprecedented scenario. Chaos erupted, leading to an all-out brawl between the teams, and an astonishing moment in MLB history where two batters were poised to swing simultaneously. 3. The infamous Disco Demolition Night. In 1979, Mike Veek, the son of renowned baseball owner Bill Veek and a White Sox promotion manager, conceived an eccentric idea that left an indelible mark on baseball history. Rather than a mere publicity stunt, Mike designed a promotion allowing fans to enter the ballpark for a mere 98 cents if they brought along a disco record. The plan was to destroy all the records between games of a doubleheader, symbolically putting an end to the disco era. Expecting a turnout of around 20,000 fans compared to their usual 5,000, Mike was stunned when over 50,000 fervent supporters flooded the stadium, with many even leaping fences and gates to get in. The designated boxes for depositing records overflowed, leading to chaos during the game. Records and other dangerous items were flung around, causing multiple halts in the match. While the records were successfully blown up, the explosion created a sizable hole on the playing field, making the next game difficult to proceed with, especially as thousands of fans stormed the field. A riot broke out, with fans setting fires, vandalizing equipment, and overtaking the stadium. Security was overwhelmed, and the best they could do was display a plea on the scoreboard for fans to return to their seats, to little effect. Ultimately, the second game had to be forfeited by the White Sox. Disco Demolition Night became one of the most infamous and calamitous promotions in baseball's history, serving as a vivid reminder of the unpredictability of events in America's favorite pastime. 2. Independence Day in Atlanta. The 4th of July in 1985 witnessed one of the wildest and most unlikely sequences of events in MLB history. The Mets were facing the Braves in Atlanta, and what began as a typical game rapidly morphed into a marathon of chaos. Multiple rain delays, arguments, ejections, and an anticipated firework display after the game added to the uncertainty. After 9 innings, the score was tied 8-8, and the game was pushed into extra innings. As the clock struck midnight, the intensity only increased. In the 13th inning, the Mets took a 10-8 lead, but with 2 outs in the bottom, Terry Harper's home run tied it again. The game persisted through the night, finally stretching into the early hours of the 5th. The Mets scored another run in the 18th, leaving the Braves with no position players. Their last hope rested on relief pitcher Rick Camp, a notoriously dreadful hitter. Miraculously, Camp stepped up and hit a home run, leaving everyone in disbelief. The Mets eventually scored 5 runs in the 19th, securing a victory, but Camp's unlikely homer remains one of the craziest moments in MLB history. As dawn broke, the fireworks finally went off, causing panic and 911 calls from concerned residents who mistook the spectacle for a bombing. 1. A night to remember. 10-cent beer madness. In 1974, the Cleveland Indians attempted to boost attendance with a disastrous promotion, 10-cent beer night, offering 10-ounce beers for just 10 cents, with no limits on purchases. Little did they know the chaos that would ensue. The game was scheduled between the Indians and the Rangers, 2 teams recently involved in a bench-clearing brawl, and the fans were already in an unruly mood. Over 25,000 people showed up, more than expected, and the troubles began immediately. Fans streaked across the field, setting off firecrackers and creating an uproar. The stadium turned into a chaotic scene with marijuana and gunpowder smoke filling the air. By the 7th inning, the crowd was heavily intoxicated, and a horde of drunken fans stormed the field with weapons made from stadium debris. A violent melee erupted between players and fans, forcing the players to seek refuge in the clubhouse. The game was ultimately forfeited by the Indians, leaving several players and umpires injured. Despite the mayhem, the Indians unbelievably attempted another 10-cent beer night later that season, this time with a 2-beer limit per person. That was it for today's video. Before leaving, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.